Well, hello everybody. This is Goldfinger from the Goldfinger Minute. And I thought I'd do a short, which probably is going to be about 30 minutes, because that's a short for me, as you know. And a short little video on my 60-day update on my diet using Retatrutide. Retatrutide is a peptide. It has 3 agonists. It has 3 items in it, which is the original Ozempic, and then it has Peptide and the third one. It actually has 3 items in it. One is to control your appetite. It actually affects your mind, that makes you feel full and not hungry and not think of food. And if your stomach is hungry, it doesn't register like I got to eat something. You don't get cravings. One is a visceral fat. It dissolves visceral fat, and the third one works on your blood sugar level. So, but it just, I don't know, that somehow for the 3 of them they work really good, and it's been working very good. So if you haven't seen my first one, I spoke about a month ago on my 30-day on Retatrutide, and it's somewhat experimental, but it is a manufactured synthetic of a natural peptide in one's body, and it works. And there's many different types of peptides, and this one was actually designed for blood sugar and insulin levels, but they found it works really good for losing weight as a side effect. Now there can be a couple other side effects. When you first start off, you might have a slight headache, not a real bad one, but just a slight headache for the first day for like 2 or 3 hours. Or you might be constipated for the first week a little bit, and you might need a laxative. I haven't had a whole lot of people, unless you took too much. You're supposed to start off with 10 cc's of the reconstituted peptide. And basically, peptide is a freeze-dried peptide powder. It's a little white powder in a small bottle. And if you look at my first one, it explains it and shows you the pictures. If you look at my first video on it, this will be video 2. And then you add what they call BAC water, which bariostatic water. Bariostatic water is basically distilled water, has a 0.9% alcohol content. And that's how you reconstitute it. And you can basically reconstitute it to a certain percentage. There is a formula, which I will put in the description, that tells you how many milligrams you want to inject, and it is by injection. Use a very tiny needle, about a quarter inch. It's actually 8 millimeter long, about a quarter inch long, and you inject it in your stomach or thighs. And I show all those pictures of stuff in the original first video on it. Now, I had lost in the first 4 weeks, or 30 days, roughly 30 days, I had lost 20 pounds. And now we're at the second month, and I've lost another 10 pounds. So I am now down 30 pounds total in 2 months. I'm still on it, and I originally started with, as I remember, 15 cc's, which was worked out to 1.5 milligrams twice a week for a total of 3 milligrams, as I remember. You'll have to go back to the first video. I am now currently taking 75 cc's, which is near the maximum that they recommend in trial studies. They've done 2 trial studies, and it's passed both of them in the USA through the Food and Drug Administration. And it's going to be starting its 3rd final test. And you can get it in the US, but it's very expensive. I've heard anywhere from $500 to $1,000 literally a week. Some people have found it elsewhere cheaper, but you have to go on a doctor's clinical study to get it. You can't just, basically, if you go on Peptides and you watch videos, you can contact that person in his description. Go on, there's a lot of doctors that have YouTube channels now, and you can order it through them. Obviously, they're going to make some money, but it's pretty expensive. It's typically, I've heard crazy amounts. Guys spending as much as $300 per injection of Ozempic. And Ozempic comes already 10 cc's in a syringe. It's actually already in the syringe, so you don't mix it, you don't reconstitute it. But now you reconstitute it by adding the BAC water to the freeze-dried powder, and there are other peptides. I'm going to be getting into other ones soon. There's several that are available, so I'll be getting into MOTS-SC or MOTS-C, which rebuilds. Oh God! It does a lot of things. It actually is helps you, makes you healthier and everything else. I also have Glow, which is GLOW, which is and if you look that up, you can find out information about it. I'm not going to go into all that, but it helps your skin. It's basically a youth drug. Movie stars use it. It makes your skin glow and gets rid of wrinkles. It helps your nails, hair. Everything physical, eyesight, helps your lips. You see here, I cut myself right here with shaving. Helps with, won't stop you from cutting yourself with a razor, but it just helps you get some of these other things, in lines that you might have in the face, and wrinkles, things like that. And it's basically a reversing youth drug, like Fountain of Youth. They have now these peptides. It's really incredible. So like I said, I have lost 30 pounds now in 2 months. The first month was 20 pounds, and the second month was 10 pounds, so it obviously don't slow down. But they say in the trials, on the average, whatever the person's original weight is, they've lost 24% on the average. Now, some obviously lost more, some lost less. It depends on a certain amount of things, like you could exercise, which doesn't hurt if you exercise a little bit, and you could do things like weightlifting, resistance bands, yoga. There's many things you could do which will help get rid of excess skin. See, I got a little extra skin here, a little extra skin under my arm too. So this, I have to start doing resistance band and exercising, but your body will absorb that excess skin. Now, in time, you can lose the weight faster than the body can absorb the extra skin. But down 30 pounds is pretty good. It's actually, we weigh kilos over here, so I'm down 14 kilos, which is pretty good for 2 months. I mean, that's pretty good. Now, there are currently 15 people. We only had 3 in the first 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure how many were on the 30-day video I did, but I would say less than 5. We're now at 15 people here in Dumaguete that I help and have the source for them to get it from me. And the cost for a week supply when you're starting, actually it's a month supply when you're starting. So when you're starting a month supply, which is 20 milligrams, so you're only going to be about 5 milligrams a week. So for 4 weeks, you'll use 20 milligram bottle, and then you reconstitute it, and you inject maybe let's see, you're injecting up to what you can do it once a week and do 25 cc's. 25 cc's twice a week, or 50 cc's once a week. In any case, the first month cost is 3,000 pesos. That's like $51, $52 here in the Philippines, the cost. We are now able to get it. I'm able to order it in large quantities from China. Originally, all of it came from China or India. That's where it all comes from. And I don't care if you're in the States or anywhere else. You're getting it from China or India. That's where they're manufacturing it. It's just to have huge import fees into the U.S., and then there's profit and everything else. So they're paying the same thing that I have. They could sell it for $51 for a month's supply, but people are paying. But obviously with greed and profit, maybe liability, I don't know, but you have to sign a waiver to take it. In any case, they're charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I've heard anywhere from $500 to $1,000, and actually one guy was paying $300 a week for Ozempic, which is only one GLP-1, and this has two more items added to it to help you lose additional weight. Very few side effects. Nobody's complained of anything serious side effects. A lot of people tend to take more than they should when they start. You're supposed to start off with 10 cc's, and a lot of people take 15 or 20. twice a week. So, and I did too. I literally took 25 cc's twice a week, so that's 50. And so basically a bottle lasted 1 month. Because I add 200 cc's of water to the little vial of freeze-dried Retatrutide. Now, I stock it here because I'm buying 100 bottles at a time. And we tried the ones from different sources, and we found pretty much they all work the same. They all seem to be working. And by ordering a large quantity, I've gotten the price down. Unfortunately, I will not ship to the U.S., so you can't ask me to ship to the U.S. because I don't know 100% what the legalities are. It is my understanding you can ship to the U.S., and there isn't a problem. They're allowing peptides to go through customs as long as it's marked with the name and the purity. But I'm not prepared to do that. I'm too busy to be running to a post office and shipping. So if you come to visit, you can come see me, and I can get you started. Other than that, so anyway, I need to lose another 60 pounds. You know, I started off at 290. I'm now at 259, so it's actually 31 pounds, but who's counting? So say 260, and I'd like to get down to about 200. A perfect body for me would be 180. Perfect weight, I should say. Perfect weight should be 180, but however, I ain't 18 to 25 anymore. I'm 69 years old, so if I got down to 200 pounds, I'd be thrilled. Already having problems with clothes falling off. Okay, I'm going to start buying new clothes pretty soon because pants don't fit. Underwear falls off my butt, so I'm tying knots in my clothes. I mean, I'm starting to use safety pins. So 30 pounds made a big difference on the waistline. Another 30 pounds, and I'll definitely need a new wardrobe. So I'm staying with it, and I'm keeping with it. And it's grown quite a bit. A lot of people have seen the results from me and other people. And one person loses weight, and they tell another person, and they come and contact me, which I'm open to. And a lot of people are all in Dumaguete. Most everybody's in Dumaguete. They contact me for it. So going through a lot. I'll probably start ordering more than 100 vials at a time. With it, you get 1 vial of Retatrutide and 1 vial of BAC water to reconstitute. So that's the update. If you have any other questions, just put it in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer it. I don't know if I forgot anything. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't want this to be too long, was an update on the children's computer tablet Christmas classroom. It's a mouthful. I did it last year, and you'll be getting my ebook very soon, by the way. Ebook number 35 is coming out tonight or tomorrow. And anybody who emailed me, I'm holding those emails up to give you the latest ebook. So I might send you a message and just say, please hold. The ebook will be coming your way very soon. In any case, in the ebook, when you receive it, there'll be a cover letter asking you if you could help for the Children's Christmas Fund. That's totally up to you. The book is free. I don't believe in, and I know they call it e-begging, and I don't like the idea of e-begging. So I'm not e-begging for me. I don't need the money personally. I actually put money into the Christmas Fund myself. So last year I put in 25,000 pesos per month. This year I started at 35,000 pesos per month. It costs several $100,000 to set up a classroom. I'm doing it this year at the Nazario Tel Memorial Elementary School. It's a very small province school. It has 700 students, which is about the same size as last year. They were around 700 to 800, and they're all very. I mean, the kids here are very studious. The only children I know that are more studious than Philippine children are Chinese students. They're more studious, but they're very polite and very receptive to learning, and it's not like the U.S. That's all I could tell you. So they take your hand and they put it to their forehead as a meaning of respect when you come on the school. So I don't mind doing it for the kids. So what we do is we create a single classroom, big screen TV, 75-inch, on a swivel, so they could tilt it down if they need to. We find a proper classroom, and then we put in tables if they don't have them already, flat tables, and we set up between 24 and 30 tablets, which have a higher RAM and ROM. The memory is not real important because they're not storing stuff too much. We just want a good chip, and then we have a keyboard, which is wireless, and a mouse that's wireless with a mouse pad. And then we also get we number each one, and we number the table so that they all match. So they can leave the keyboard and the mouse out, but they all have a number to match the tablet. And the tablets are stored in a lockable cabinet that recharges the tablets overnight. Now, I like using the tablets because they'll actually last a couple days on a charge. Not just one day, they'll last several days. So if they put them up, if they recharge them and they have a few extras, they can just leave them in the cabinet and pull them out as they need them. Typically, they need about 20 to 24 for 40 students, and 2 students will share a tablet at a table. And then I also get a laptop for the teacher to oversee all the tablets and help the children. And he's got an HDMI cable to the big screen, 75-inch flat screen TV, so he can give lessons on that. And Carolyn, my wife here, loads all the tablets and his computer with all kinds of programs for reading and education, history, math, you name it, where there could be fun programs, for children with crazy characters and laughing and stuff like that. But it's not for watching cartoons. It's educational based, and she'll load all of them, and it has grades 1 through 6 in it for educational purposes. And she'll put in about 24 different apps on each tablet and also on the teacher's computer. And then we also get a laser printer for the teacher. So the teacher can, it's basically a tech. We find the teacher who's mostly good enough to be a tech to be able to use a laptop and print and do homework assignments and things like that. And it's much better than what they have here. They're still dealing here in books and chalkboard. Everything in the Philippines is backwards a little bit by about 50 years. And this brings them up to get them ready for high school or college, get some practicing on how to use a keyboard and how to use a computer and also it's educating them. History lessons, geography lessons, math lessons, English lessons, how to write, how to transcribe, things like that. It's very good, and it's really good for them. Now, I think that's pretty much all I do, but it does cost somewhere between. It might be a little bit more money this year because we're going to do a little better tablet this year, and I get the tablets from the tablets I get from Amazon in the U.S. They'll ship here for free, and I found that they have better product than we can get here and cheaper. Locally, I buy the TV because 75-inch Amazon won't ship such a big TV. I believe they have a 60 inches the maximum they'll ship. I want a 75-inch. So the back of the room can see what the teacher's doing. His computer has a drawing ability, so he could draw and do all kinds of things on his laptop, which I prefer a 17-inch for him laptop, and then he can project it on the TV for all the kids to see from the front to the back. And we have it up high, and mounted up high. So it costs anywhere from 350 to 500,000 pesos. You're going to ask me how much money that is. I don't know. It's a lot. We have about 150,000 already. So let me see. 350,000 divided by 57 equals. So on the low side, it's $6,000, okay? And on the high side, it's going to be a lot more. 500,000. I don't think I'll hit 500,000 this year either. Divided by 57 equals 8,000. It's going to be between 6,000 and 8,500. I would say probably between 6,000 and 7,000 U.S. dollars to do it. And I have already about 150,000 saved up from people that have donated through the year. I still do the helmets, by the way, if the children need it. But this is money besides. So I have already 2,600 put away. So we need at least another 3,500 to $4,000, and it happens. Everybody kicks in a little bit. It helps. We still have time because I don't do it until December. That's why it's the Christmas. I usually do it towards around December 15th. We'll figure out a day. I get letters of acceptance, letters of accommodation, letters to support the cause from the barangay captain, from the teacher, from the principal of the school, and also from Chata, which is a Philippine service awards to anybody that goes outstanding. I got it last year, and I'll probably get it again this year. They acknowledge people that do things that help children, and I keep the names of everybody, and then I don't know if we'll do it this year, but last year we had the names of everybody on a big board who had helped make this happen. I don't know if I have all the names so far because it took a long time to keep all those names. But I do keep track of the money, and I keep it in a separate account, and then I keep track of the expenses, and I keep it in a separate folder, and I do that with on my computer, keeping track of it. Anyway, I just wanted to give you an update. We're doing fine. We haven't ordered anything yet because I wait until the sales start happening, usually in October or this month actually, or November, and then of course I need additional funds. So I'll start. Amazon usually has sales in November, or even last minute sales in December, and so it pays. I try to shop it and get the best bang for the buck, so I can get the best. I want all the tablets to be the same or similar. They can be different colors, but the same manufacturer, and to have good ratings and good reviews. So there's a lot goes into it, and then I can only order so many at a time, so we don't get taxed because they have a VAT tax import fee if you go over $200. So I try to buy them that are under $100, so I can order 2 at a time, or I have to put in 25 to 30 orders, which you could do. You could order one after one or another, but sometimes they ran out of stock, and then you're kind of like, oh no, I don't want different ones, so I have to make sure they have enough quantity. Let's see. That's pretty much it. It's a quickie. I just wanted to kind of get an update. The funds are ongoing. The computer classroom is still planned. The ebook's coming out. And anybody who sent me their email addresses in the last few days, be aware I'm going to hold those email up and send the book out to you this weekend when it's completed. It will have some new information about Critter Republic. He has a new diving center. Justin Carmack and his wife have opened up a new center, and there's a lot of information in there about Critter Republic. There's new restaurants locally if you come into town, and hotel information. There's some that we had to remove, some we had to add. We have updates on requirements for coming in on a visa and how to register and how to sign up ahead of time, onward ticket, things like that. So there are some changes in version 35. The last version I actually put out was version 33. I never sent version 34 because I knew it needed improvement. So I took 34 and I updated it again, just so that you know. Anyway, just a quickie, let you know, get you up to date. I appreciate all your help, and I appreciate all the positive input. I'm staying on the diet. I'm working on it, and I'll give you an update again in 30 days when I hit my 90-day mark and see how much weight I've lost in 90 days. And by that time, I'll be on a couple more peptides, the Glow and the MOTS-C, and there's another one which helps rebuild cartilage. Like if you have a problem with your ankle, knees, or back, low back, and you have problems with cartilage between your bones and stuff like that, it rebuilds the cartilage, and it also makes your muscles denser. Because a lot of these peptides, people have claimed that unless you're exercising or working it, your bones get not as dense, less dense, and so you're prone to possibly breaking a leg or arm if you trip. We're talking older people, obviously, 70, 80 years old. So, but this new one, which is coming out, and I don't remember the name of it. I'm sure somebody will make a name of it. It's something with the letter C. I don't remember the name. It's coming out, and we're going to be able to get it in the next week or two here in the Philippines. And it rebuilds. It makes your muscles denser. It makes your muscles healthier, stronger, all by itself, and you actually don't have to exercise for that. And it rebuilds cartilage. So if you're having bad backs or ankle problems or walking problems, it helps. A lot of these peptides are coming out are youth drugs. It's turning back your health and youth, and it's really amazing. And a lot of it's been held back for many years because, as we know, the U.S. wants to treat you. They don't want to cure you, and we know why. Okay, as simple as that. I'm not going to go any more into it, but bottom line is, these are not just treatments; they're cures, and they change you. Now, will you have to be on Retatrutide for life? Probably, not as much, not as often. You may need to take a small injection for a maintenance injection once a week or twice a month, and same with anything else, because it's basically like taking a vitamin. Okay, very similar. You are what you eat, and luckily on this you can almost eat anything you want. You don't have to be on a low carb. It doesn't hurt to do that. It doesn't hurt to count calories if you want to, but it's not dependent. Retatrutide is not dependent on calorie counting or not eating pizza or anything else, because you basically don't get interested and have cravings. You can only eat so much, and once your stomach shrinks, your mind will realize that the food you order is like, I'm taking half of that home. I don't want it. I never was a guy that used to take food home. I was a clean your plate type of guy. Now, I leave it on the plate, I take it home, or I give it to the dogs. It sits in the refrigerator, and I finally just give it to the dogs. I'm just not interested. If you're not hungry, you're not hungry, and it makes you realize that you're eating because you're bored or you're happy. But I lost all interest in all, and I talked to other guys about this, and the same thing with them. They lost all interest in eating sweets, chocolate shakes, French fries, potato chips, snacks. They don't snack. And all that over a period of time obviously is reducing your calorie intake, and you're going deficit calories. And so you're getting down to where you need to be, where it's just whatever fits in the palm of your hand, and preferably protein and vegetables. And so I really love vegetables. I didn't really love vegetables before. I really love vegetables now. In fact, I eat my vegetables first. So it changes your thinking about food, and it just does it naturally, which is good, because I honestly didn't have the willpower to do it without the Retatrutide, but the Retatrutide gives me the willpower and make the choice. And I don't miss sweets. I don't miss bread. Don't miss it. I just don't care. I don't miss pizza. I don't miss any of that stuff anymore. It's not important. And you cut back on sodas. I only drink mostly water. There is another video that talks about the water I drink. I don't drink plain water. I have hydrogen peroxide in my water. Because I did have cancer in the past. You'll have to watch that video. It's a whole different story. But you want to drink, spring water, fresh water, bottled water, and you want to take minerals. And I add electrolytes to my water. So you could buy sugar-free electrolytes online here, which I use, and it's fine. I don't really have any side effects. I am at my maximum, so I can't take any more. So if I may slow down even more in the following month, I may only lose 5 or 7 pounds. I don't know. But I'm just sharing this with you, and we'll take this journey together. You guys take care. Love you all. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. I'll include in the description some of the information that you could use. If you're out of the country, I'll put in a site that you can use that they will ship to you. I don't know what the cost is if they ship to you, because one's international. I know it's more expensive than what I get it for because I'm buying it in quantity. But there is an international site, and I'll include that. All right, long enough. Bye, everybody. Take care.